Good evening to everyone. May I firstly request to put on your mobiles on the silent mode so that our interactions are noise-free. Honorable Sri K. Srivastava, Director, Indian International Center, Sri Suhas Gokul, Trustee of the Board of Management, Sri P.K. Tripathi, our Member of Executive Committee, my colleagues from the IAC, distinguished members who have been newly enrolled in the IAC, and those members who have joined online, a warm welcome to everyone. It's my honor and privilege on behalf of the IAC management to welcome you all to the IAC. Before I start, I would request our Director Sir to give his opening welcome remarks for the members.
Trustee of IAC Sri Suhas Gokul, Executive members Sri P.K. Tripathi, my colleague Kamal Wali, and dear friends. A very warm welcome to all of you to the IAC family. We have been conducting this kind of induction program for the newly enrolled members, just to apprise them of IAC, about culture, about the protocol. So Kamal, our secretary, will be making a brief presentation to give you details on those. But I just wanted to give you a little background. Many of you may be already familiar, but still I thought it would be appropriate for me to inform all of you about what IAC is all about. IAC, this was conceived in 1957. A meeting between our Vice President, then Vice President of India, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, took place with Rockefeller III. He was visiting India at that time. So in that meeting, Mr. Rockefeller suggested to Dr. Radhakrishnan that India should have a place where intellectuals and other people, scholars, they can meet from all over the world, exchange views, and promote understanding, unity amongst humanity at large, develop understanding of each other's culture. And he said that once a center, he has already financed in Japan, which is called International House of Japan. So he said that we can think of having a center at in India on the similar lines. This idea was liked by Dr. Radhakrishnan, and that time Dr. C.D. Deshmukh, who had just resigned from Union Cabinet, as you know, he was our first finance minister. From 47 to 56, he was in the Union Cabinet. Even after the Constitution, was promulgated in 1950, and first general election took place in 1952. He contested that election as independent candidate and was continued in the cabinet by Prime Minister Nehru as External Affairs Minister. But on the issue of Bombay, when this reorganization of the state was taking place in 1956, he had differences with Morarji Desai and others, and on that issue he resigned. So he was available at that time, so Dr. Radhakrishnan called Dr. C.D. Deshmukh and requested him to take up this responsibility. And at the same time, he was also given another responsibility by Prime Minister, that is to set up a University Grant Commission. So Dr. Radhakrishnan, he took both the responsibilities, and he visited Japan. He saw how that center funded by Rockefeller is working, and then he worked on that. Then this IAC, India International Center, as a society was registered again later. And finally, in 1960, the construction started. At that time, the Crown Prince of Japan, Akihito, he was visiting. He was in India, so he was requested to lay foundation stone since it was being set up on the lines of International Japan. So the foundation stone of this was laid by Crown Prince Akihito, who later became emperor, and now his son is emperor of Japan. Then they engaged a very renowned American architect just at this time, really a veteran architect, You may have seen a road, a lane named after him. Within a decade period of I think 13 to 14 months, they were able to deliver this beautiful complex. And this is a really architectural masterpiece. To study this architecture, the students of architecture from all over India, they come and visit us. They study this structure. Though it's very simple structure, but the beauty of this structure is that the greens, the lawns, the trees, very seamlessly merged with the concrete. And the concrete structure is not at all very imposing kind of thing, very simple, but at the same time very elegant. Later, when the membership increased and space was found to be inadequate, so then the management thought of to have another complex, and luckily Government of India made another piece of a small piece of land. This of course is about 6 acres. That annex came up in 2001. Luckily, Mr. Stein was still alive, and he made architecture plan for that and was executed. That is about 1 acre plus. So this is how the center has come into existence. Few things before I request Kamal and my other colleagues, Suhas Borkar and Dr. Tripathi, to speak. I just wanted to mention to you that today we have grown in size. Our usual membership is about 7,000, and we have about 500 corporate members. Corporate means not just corporate as we understand. It also includes the cultural institutions, educational institutions, and also the universities, deemed universities. So all that put together comes to about 500. And we have got another 500 overseas members who are NRIs, then foreigners, foreign institutions like that. So all put together about 8,000 members we have. One basic difference of ISC, when you look at a club, first of all, we don't want anybody calling ISC as a club. It's not a club at all. It is a social cultural center. But fundamental difference in the governance structure of ISC in comparison to the clubs is that unlike the club, here the management control is not with the general body. General body is just an recommendatory body. Dr. Deshmukh, perhaps, he was a visionary. He thought a new structure for administering ISC. So he brought the concept of life trustees. So we have 5 life trustees who in the beginning, they were all people of eminence, and it was, felt that if any one of them, he becomes disabled or he dies or medically incapacitated, then the remaining 4 should search an equally eminent person to replace that person. So effective control is in the hands of these 5 life trustees. Since we have our membership from institutional categories as well as individual categories, so in order to give representation to them in the board, in the management of ISC, a position of elected trustee and elected trustee in individual category, elected trustee in institutional category was conceived. Mr. Suhas Borkar is the elected trustee from the individual category. Then Mr. Nonit Soni is elected trustee from the institutional categories. So 5 life trustees, 2 elected trustees, and director who is the CEO of the center is ex officio trustee. So in all 8 trustees are there to that's how the ISC board has been constructed. Then of course the entire administration is to be run by the management of ISC, represented by director and duly assisted by secretary and other departments. Details of course Kamal is going to give you which are all departments we have. So this is what I have to say, and let me extend a warm welcome to all of you once again, and we look forward to your active participation. I would like to inform you that we conduct about 4,500 programs every year, about which 1/3 is directly by the ISC and the rest by the private people in collaboration with us. So it's a very happening kind of place On an average, 12 to 15 programs are taking place. We have got about 2 dozen program venues spread over in the main center and annex. Another beautiful thing that we have got here is that we are very conscious of environmental issues, and we have taken several green initiatives. I think we're going to brief about those things. So Kaval is going to tell about that. So that is what I have to say, and once again, very heart welcome to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that besides the board, we have also got an executive committee, which has got 2 elected members from the individual category. Mr. P.K. Tripathi, who was the Chief Secretary of Delhi and also Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister of Delhi, a very known person. He is one of the 2 elected trustees from the individual category. Mr. Sanjeev Chopra, who was Director of Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy of Administration in Missouri. He is another elected member to the Executive Committee. And then we have got Mr. P.K. Das, who is the CMD of ERDA, as elected member from the Executive category. And then Dr. Mahesh Varma, who is the Vice Chancellor of Indraprastha University. So these 4 are elected members to the Executive Committee, and 2 members have been nominated by the board to the Executive Committee, Mrs. Ambassador Deepa Vadhwa and Dr. Ajit Nagpal. So these 4 and directly the chairman of the Executive Committee. So most of the execute, as the name indicates, most of the matters relating to the which are the nature of execution are all decided at the level of the Executive Committee. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And now I will request to go on the online, and briefly in the next 20 minutes I will be covering up the IAC, what it is and what it signifies. As the director had mentioned, it was initially proposed in 1958 by John D. Rockefeller III to then Dr. Radhakrishnan, who was the Vice President of the India. And in 15th April 1960, the first sod of the earth on site was turned by Srimati Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay, who was a Life Trustee and the first Vice President of the IAC. On 30th November the same year, foundation stone was laid by the then Prince Akito, and within a span of less than 2 years, the IAC was formally inaugurated by Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. As the vision indicates, it is with a vision of an ideal meeting point between the East and West, and as the words of the founder president, is designed to be a place of meeting of minds, a place where various currents of intellectual, political and economic thought could meet freely. Statesmen, diplomats, intellectuals, scientists, jurists, writers and activists convene here for discussions, lectures and conferences, initiate the exchange of new ideas and knowledge in the spirit of international cooperation. So that is the vision with which IAC functions. Some of the pictures, just for this is the ceremony of laying of foundation stone by then Prince of Japan, dated 30th November 1960. He is accompanied by C.D. Deshmukhji and Dr. Radhakrishnan. Foundation Day, John Rockefeller along with Mrs. Rockefeller in conversation with then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehruji. Foundation stone ceremony, C.D. Deshmukh, Crown Prince of Japan, Jawaharlal Nehruji and Dr. Radhakrishnan along with Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay, 30th November 1960. As was briefed by the director, we have a board of trustees consisting of following. We have 5 life trustees. Shri Shyam Saran is the current president of the board of management. Shri N.N. Vora are the other life trustees. Shri Gopal Krishnan Gandhi, Dr. Meenakshi Gopinath and Dr. Shailesh Naik. Shri Suhas Borkarji is the individual elected member trustee. Navneet Soniji represents the institutional member. Srimati Meena Agarwal she is our honorary treasurer, director, and me as the secretary of the BOT. The executive committee consists of following people: 2 members from the individual category, 2 members from the institutional category, and 2 nominated, the names as indicated. Apart from these 2 main committees, we have some advisory committees consisting of specialist professionals who guide and advise us and recommend in the respective field. For example, Finance Committee, headed by Srimati Sushma Nath, former Secretary to the Government of India, who headed the Pay Commission. She is our chairperson of the Finance Committee. House Committee, which looks after all the infrastructure development, is headed by the current President, Shri Sansaranji. Advisory Council, which guides us and advises us on the programs, what kind of programs should be held by the ISE. The council consists of 40 members from diverse fields, and many of them are members of the center and non-members also. Library Committee, chaired by Dr. Meenakshi Gopinath. It has got 14 members. Editorial Board is headed by Dr. Karan Singh. In fact, Editorial Board, right from its inception, has been headed by Dr. Karan Singh, and we continue to be under his patronage as far as the Editorial Board concerns. We have launched a Garden Committee which advises and guides us on the garden matters, headed by Dr. S.S. Sindhu, the former faculty of Institute of Hotel and Management. We also have an Architectural Design and Advisory Committee, in short ADAC, headed by Sri A.R. Ramanathan, an eminent architect. Investment Committee, headed by Director, which guides us on the investment matters. As the Executive Authority is the President and the Director. Some of the head of the departments which assist the center in its functioning, me as the Secretary. We have an International Research Division, which is presently located in Annex, headed by the Executive Director, Dr. Sudha Gopalakrishnan. Chief Editor, Ms. Umita Goel, who is amongst us. Chief Program Division, Ms. Suwang. Unfortunately, she was to attend, but because of some sickness, she has not been able to attend. She is the one who has been handling the program department. Chief Librarian, Dr. Usha Munshi. Maintenance Head, Shri N.R. Rajgopal. He handles all the technical matters. Administration by Mr. Gandharv Kumar. Unfortunately, he is also not available today. The Chief Financial Officer, Shri Ajit Kumar, he is also amongst us here. Membership is handled by Mr. K.C. Pandey. Catering by Mr. Mridul Puri. Hotel and Housekeeping by Mr. Amit Kumar. And our IT Head is Mr. K.C. Pandey. The center has a total of about 357 regular staff who assist in the day-to-day functioning, and in addition to that, we have 136 contractual staff. So in all, total is about 500 people who manage the day-to-day functioning of the center. And as it is known, it's basically a confluence of Triveni, as they call program, publication and library, which are our intellectual wings of the center. Programs. Over the years, center has developed a close and mutually beneficial relationship with prominent academic and cultural institutions in India and abroad, as well as diplomatic missions and the cultural centers. Universities and cultural organizations, they collaborate with us in organizing lectures, seminars, symposia, roundtables with eminent scholars. Programs are also organized both in online, offline, or hybrid modes. Some of the notable speakers in the past are as indicated. This is just a glimpse of some of the important events which were held in last 1 year. Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, she was our invited guest for the C.D. Deshmukh Memorial Lecture, which was held in 14 January 24. International conference which was held in February 24, Asia on the Move, Histories of Mobility and Making of Asia. Talk by His Excellency Mr. Cesar Guillermo, former Vice President of Guatemala. He spoke on Indian democracy as a role model on 14th February. Our Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan, gave a talk on future wars. This was in November 24. These are just some of the glimpses. Most of you must be already aware of the important activities and programs which are held at the ISE. Apart from the programs, ISE is also well known for its Festival of the Arts, which is conducted usually in the month of October. between Dussehra and Diwali for a period of about 1 week. The center decks up itself, and we conduct a plethora of programs ranging from exhibition, cultural programs, talks, as well as special dinners for the members in the IC, and it is joyful and colorful during that 1 week when it is decorated with lamps, flowers, and it's got a very festive atmosphere which is there. This festival had started from 2004 onwards, and every year we hold it for about a period of 5 to 7 days. Since 2023, it was decided that rather than a general function, we should have a theme-based function. So the last year's function, it was Kalp Vriksha, the nationalist movement, freedom and identity. This year again, between Dussehra and Diwali, for about 7 days, IC festival will be again be held. The theme is yet to be decided. Some of the photographs of the last year's festival, which was held in October 24. Exhibition, like we said, that center is also known for its exhibition which it conducts for the paintings, photographs, sculptures, pottery, ceramic and glassworks from artists of India as well as abroad. Focus is to present the younger artists, lesser known art forms and folk and traditional styles. Exhibitions again are organized both in offline and online mode. We have 2 art galleries, one in the Kamala Devi block where we are sitting right now on the floor which is above the seminar room, and we have one smaller art gallery which is located in the NX building. Apart from the programs, we also have a film club. It was initiated in 1967. It is one of the oldest functioning film society in Delhi. It's open to all members free of cost. Every month, we screen 4 to 6 films of merit and excellence, experimental works and art house cinema, which are not normally available in the commercial circuit. We also present festivals and retrospectives of classic work done by the renowned directors. And as I mentioned, that all members are automatically part of the film club. Non-members also are given the privilege of being a member of the film club by paying a nominal amount of ₹1,000 per annum, and they can also come and view the films which are screened at the IIC. Apart from that, we also have sector-wise policy groups, which in short is called as SPG. This was formed in 2022 with a view to plan and concretize appropriate program activities relevant to the present and the coming time, which is in consonance with the objectives of the center. Each SPG has about 5 to 6 members, including the director and the convener. Presently, there are 15 SPGs with broad subject areas and their conveners. Members of the SPG are identified by the convener of the group in consultation with the director, and each SPG works on a particular subject or a theme, and after the discussion, they bring out an IIC policy paper, which is published as an IIC publication. These are the 14 policy groups which are there. Agriculture, the name of the convener is as indicated, culture, economic affairs, education, environment, foreign relations, governance, health, history, justice, media, science and technology, security, social affairs, and artificial intelligence. And as I mentioned, that each convener is assisted by 5 to 6 other members who assist him in a particular subject, and thereafter publication is brought out. We already have brought out about 4 publications, and about another 4 are in the editing phase with the publication right now. The publication department, it's an extension of its public service. IIC publishes the IIC Quarterly, a serious journal with essays from leading statesmen, writers and thinkers. Abiding concern of the journal is to promote an understanding of different cultures and civilizations and draw attention to crucial contemporary issues. The journal has an enviable list of contributors, as indicated by some of the former writers A.K. Ramanujan, Amartya Sen, U.R. Ananthamurthy and Ashish Nandi. Apart from the quarterly, IIC also publishes its bi-monthly IIC diary, a new series which is called as monographs, as occasional publications. Primarily, the occasional publications are some important talks or seminars which have happened at IIC, and we feel that there's a importance to bring out this as a publication. So they are published as an occasional publication. We also hold a mid-year review of the Indian economy, which was initiated by late Dr. Malcolm Adisheshaya in 1975. From time to time, the ISC publication also publishes books drawn mostly from the seminars and important cultural events which are held here. We also publish the ISC diary in the digital form, and the digital form is mailed to all the members. We have limited number of hard copies of this ISC diary, but the ISC quarterly, the print copy, is mailed to all the members by post at their address, which is registered with the ISC. So roughly about 3 issues, 2 general issues and 1 theme issue, you will be receiving from the ISC in a year. Some of the pictures, the release of the ISC quarterly of autumn publication, and also the theme issue which was released in July 2024. The Triveni Third Library, we have a very well stocked and a very renowned library which is at the ISC, known not only in Delhi but known throughout the country, with some of the best collections which are available with us. We have computer terminals, Wi-Fi facility. Library houses a rich compilation of nearly 56,000+ books. We also subscribe to about 156 national and international periodicals and newspapers. These are available in the ISC's reading room. We also have more than 7,000 CDs and DVDs, audiovisual collection of various programs which were held at the ISC. Library also has an access to the open source e-books and periodicals, especially the back files of the select journals of the Royal Asiatic Society, Asiatic Research Journal of the Royal Asiatic Society of Bengal, e-books, and these are part of the India collection and the Himalayan Club collection. Library hours, as indicated, it remains open 7 days a week. Timings from Monday to Saturday is 9 to 8, and on Sundays and holidays it is from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So it will be 7 days, 365 days it remains open, barring the national holidays. IC also has DigiLib, a web pack. This was launched in 2021. All our legacy records, the important collections, the publications, they all have been digitized and are now available through an online link free of cost to any member across the globe. So aim is to preserve these rare collections so that it has maximum visibility and usage. We also have a virtual library management software, which is a web-based search platform which holds the bibliographic database of the ISC and chapters from the selected edited books in article form. Once in a year, the ISC also conducts a conclave where important subject is picked up and a full day length seminar is held both in online mode, and we have eminent speakers who come and give a talk over here. This year's in 24, the subject was AI and ethics perspectives from the industry and academia. As I had mentioned, we also have an international research division. It presently functions from the Annex building. It arranges international seminars, conferences, workshops, and exhibitions. Normally, once in a period of 2 years, it holds an international conference, presently headed by Dr. Sudha Gopalakrishnan, who is the executive director. Apart from the international conference, the IRD also has launched a Samhita project, which is basically South Asian Manuscript Histories and Textual Archive, a program to create a database and digital repository of manuscripts, primarily which are lying outside the country. We were collaborated with the Ministry of External Affairs in our pilot project, and I'm happy to announce that seeing the success of the pilot project, the Ministry of External Affairs has now also granted the second project, which is going to start shortly, where we will be digitizing the rare collections in the collaboration of manuscripts, of Indic manuscripts, which are lying outside the country. They also have a website which is open, and all these manuscripts which have been digitized can be accessed to anyone who goes to the website. Some of the conferences or lectures which were conducted by the IRD are as indicated, so as shown. Coming to the facilities, apart from this Triveni, like I mentioned, that since there is a large number of intellectuals, scholars, academia who visit the center, there is a need to provide basic facilities and amenities so that the primary tasks are completed. The center has laid down in 3 wings, north, south and west, which is each designed to serve as a separate function. Cultural programs are open to the interested public in the south wing. Center offers residential facilities to its members and guests in the north wing. The lounge, dining hall, private dining hall, lotus lounge, terrace pergola, they all are located in the west side overlooking the lobby gardens. I just give you a brief overview. This is how the ISC is located. And as I have mentioned, that in the north side is the program block, where the offices of the library, the management's office, the program office, they are all located in the program block. Going to the south is where your residential facilities are located. And towards the north side is where the program blocks are there. You have a lounge, you have dining hall, you have seminar rooms, and the open fountain lawn which is on the north side. This is the Lodi garden which is adjoining along with our friends. A Kamala Devi block which was built in 2008, the new wing which has come up close to the Max Miller Road. We also have an open Memorial Plaza, Gandhi King Memorial Plaza, which is an open space where we hold important functions over there. Apart from the main center, as you are aware that we also have an annex. The annex also primarily has all the facilities which are at the main center minus the library. The location is located south of the India Islamic Center and World Bank, and this is the Max Miller Road, which is the road leading to the IS annex over there. Residential facilities, we have close to about 94 rooms for the members over here, 48 single rooms and 46 double rooms. All rooms are centrally air conditioned, very well equipped. The tariffs, all information is available on the ISE website also, but very nominal charges are levied for the residential facilities. As indicated, this tariff is available on the ISE website also and open to the members for use. Some of the pictures, we have embarked on a project of renovating our hostel rooms, because these hostel rooms were built nearly about 6 decades back and we felt there's a need. So these are the rooms which have been recently renovated. But I can assure you that all the rooms which are presently over there are going to be the same standard in coming months. The dining, we have 6 dining venues. A dining hall which is in the main building. The timing for the breakfast, lunch and dinner as indicated. Because of the heavy rush, we would encourage our members that in case you plan to visit the dining hall, please book your table in advance, otherwise it's difficult to get space there if you walk in over there. Lounges, which is an ideal place to meet and greet. It functions from 10 o'clock to 9:30 every day. Lotus Lounge, it's located on the first floor next to the fountain lawn over there. Ideal place to have a quick bite. While the lounge may take some time for the delivery of the services, but Lotus Lounge menu is so designed that in case you are in the rush of a time, you can just quickly go there, place an order, have a brief interaction, and within no time the meal is served over there. It remains open from 12 to 7. We also have a bar which is located on the ground floor. It serves non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages to the members and residents. Timing is as indicated. The next building again has a dining hall which is in the first floor. Timings as indicated. Both the venues of the main as well as at the annex, they serve multi-cuisine dishes over there. There's a lounge and bar on the second floor of the annex, 10:30 to 9:30, and including the alcoholic beverages are served at the lounge over there. Some of the pictures of our facility, Lotus Lounge, which as I mentioned is on the first floor, the annex dining, the terrace pergola. The program venues, like in the main building, we have 8 of them. C.D. Deshmukh Auditorium, which houses also for the film club, it is used over there for the important cultural functions. It is used. We have conference room 1, which has a capacity of about 80, located on the first floor of the program block. Conference room number 2, which is located above the dining hall, is going to it can take a seating capacity of about 40. Fountain lawn, which is an open venue. Lotus Lounge, again, it's a venue which can be used both for catering as well as for functions. The private dining hall, which is adjacent to the dining hall. A rose garden or open venue available for social functions. Terrace Pergola, it is located on the second floor above the dining hall. Coming to the Kamala Devi complex where we are right now seated, it has an art gallery on the second floor. It has a banquet hall in the basement of this building. It also has a committee room which can seat about 14 to 18 people for conferences. There is a multi-purpose hall which is located on the ground floor. It has seminar hall 1, 2 and 3. Seminar hall is the place right now where we are seated. This can be divided by the partitions which are there in case it needs to be divided into a smaller halls. Coming to the annex building, annex has an annex open court which can have social functions in the open over there. It has an art gallery in the basement, committee room number 1 and 2 to hold the function seminars over there, lecture room 2 and the lounge terrace. So these are the venues which are available at the center. At the annex, we have recently renovated our committee room, and you can have a look at the pictures which are there. It has all the facilities to conduct online as well as offline meetings. Coming to the protocol, while there are no written guidelines, but we have a brief members protocol which has been made out, and I would urge all the members to abide by them. Whenever you are visiting the IC, they are expected to conform to these guidelines. Show courtesy to the fellow members and staff, especially to the elders and ladies and differently abled. The guests are well briefed about the center's regulations. So I would request all the honorable members that whenever you are bringing in guests, they should be briefed about the protocol which are expected at the IAC. Also, please carry your ID cards, the smart cards which have been given to them, and they need to be shown to the staff whenever requested. The attire which is expected following are not permitted by the shops and in the closed venues: bathroom slippers, bare feet, round neck or a collarless t-shirt. These are a strict no-no. The staff has been briefed in case he notices any member or any guest in these. He will be courteously bringing it to the notice of the guest or the member, and we would request them not to get into argument with the staff over here. Important thing, no tips are to be offered to any of the staff in the dining facilities. I wish to inform that all the staff of the center, they are paid a financial incentive from the center towards the services on a quarterly basis. It's quite a handsome amount which is given to them financially every 3 months. So I request not to give any tips to any of the staff which are serving over here. Use of mobile phones inside the venues is strictly no-no. Members are expected not to shout or speak loudly in the bar, lounge and the dining halls. We also urge all our members to actively participate in the programs, and I would also like to bring it to the notice that we record the presence of our members at the venues. We expect the members to organize and patronize the event functions at the IC venues. Any guest who is accompanied with a member to a catering venue, there is a modest guest fee of ₹50 per guest which is levied. The number of guests which can be brought into the dining hall is limited to 6 in number, because that's what the total per table seating capacity is permitted. And as I mentioned, booking of tables in the dining hall is advised, especially during the weekends. Entry of children and the non-adults. Children of all ages are allowed in the veranda, that is the open area of the main center lounge. Children above the age of 8 years are allowed in the dining halls and the lounges. Children of all ages are allowed in the annex lounge only on Saturday and Sunday. No person below the age of 18 is permitted inside the bar, and parents and guardians are to ensure that the children are not left unattended anywhere in the center's premises. Coming to the renewal of membership, this membership which has been given comes with an annual subscription fee which is collected from each member. The tenure of the annual subscription fee is the financial year, that's from 1st April to the 31st March of next year. So again, in the month of, that is January this month, you will be receiving a mail from the center that the annual subscription fee for the next financial year, that is 1st April 2025 to 31st March 2026, is to be paid in advance. And the last date, as I mentioned, is 1st April. Up to 31st May, no surcharge is levied, but in case it goes beyond 31st May for any reason, there is a surcharge which is levied. And after 31st of July, if the member does not pay his annual subscription fee, he is removed from the roll of members. He can still, by paying the surcharge, request to be reinstated, but after the end of the 31st March of the following year, if the subscription is not received, he is thereafter deactivated from the rolls of the membership. You all must have received a smart card, and I said that this also acts as an identity card of the member. Spouses also have been given a separate card, so spouse as well as the primary member can visit the center separately, use the card for using the facilities at the center. It can also act as an electronic wallet, so that you can visit the ISC's reception or the account section, and through electronic means load your smart card with whatever amount you wish to load, and then the smart card can be used for making as a payment tool at the facilities which are being used, be dining hall or the lounge. In case of a loss, you need to report to the police, and at the rate of about ₹500, a new card is then issued to the member. The IC website is a very dynamic website. Members also can log in and check on their accounts at the members login. For the first time usage, a user ID, and which will be the membership number, and the password which is generated will be given from the IT department. And using the password and the login ID, you can check up the availability of program menus. And now we have also added the availability of the hostel rooms also will be available at the IC website in the members portal. So if you wish to check up the availability of hostel rooms or any of the program menus, you can log in and check up the availability of that particular venue on a date and month which is available. We have 6 categories of membership. First category is the life members. Life members generally are the people, persons of very high attainment in education, science, cultures and arts. We have now discontinued this membership, but the existing members, which are 67 in number, they continue to be our life members. Next category is the M category member. So the membership is indicated by the prefix of your number. For example, if any membership which starts with M, he is an M category member. M category member, they are the members who can enjoy all the facilities. They also are the voting members. They have the rights to vote whenever the elections are held. The current number of the members in the M category is 1867. Third category is the associate category. Associate category is also a permanent membership. The only difference is that between the M category and A categories, while M category members can vote during the elections, the A category members are not eligible to vote. That is the only difference. Otherwise, the rest all privileges as well as facilities utilization goes remains the same. The number of A category members is roughly 3583 as on date. And as I have indicated, the members of the STAM members who complete their 5 years, that is 3 years initially the way you all have been enrolled, and the extension which is given for 2 years. The members who complete their 3 + 2 years, from that lot, the members are thereafter picked up and made either M category members or A category members. This is done by usually once in a year in the month of March, when the admission committee, which consists of all the members of the board of trustees and executive committee, they go through the complete list of the members who have completed the 5 years. The participation of the member in the 5 years, whatever activities he has done during the 5 years is presented before that. That is the basis on which it is then considered, and thereafter they are made the regular members. And same thing goes with the case of associate members also. Fourth category is the short term, the one in which you all have been enrolled. And I just briefly mentioned that as per the revised membership policy which was implemented from 2019, initially the members are enrolled for a period of 3 years. The membership is through the prescribed form, which is examined by a STAM selection committee, and those people who are recommended are enrolled for a period of 3 years, and thereafter, based on the participation during the 3 years on case-to-case basis, they are thereafter given a further extension of 2 years. The current number of STAM is 1422. We also have a category of overseas associate member. Normally the foreigners and the Indian nationals who reside abroad are admitted in this category, and the number as on date is 418. The overseas category is open around the year, and any member who is of meeting the criteria of foreign or international can apply anytime in a prescribed form which is given. We also have something called as temporary member in case any member wishes to use the IC facilities, especially the library, for any research project or for any short duration by paying an amount of 1,500 rupees for a period of 3 months. He is given a temporary membership. He can utilize the IC facilities for that duration. Normally, membership of this is only for 3 months, and it can be only in very special cases extended by another 3 months, that is the max 6 months. The total number of members in this category is 20. Library membership, like I mentioned, that in case some member wishes to use only the library facility, he can become a library member by paying an amount of 1,770 for a period of 3 months. The maximum limit of the total number of library membership is 30. Is again given for a period of 3 months and thereafter given an extension based on the requirement. Conversion of the category of membership. The overseas members are eligible to be considered for category into the associate category. Should any overseas member return to India or relocate, he can put in a request as long as he has completed 10 years as an overseas member and submits the proof of relocation into the country. If he has completed these two conditions, he can be considered for a conversion into the associate category. Similarly, the people who are in the associate category are eligible to be converted into the N category as a voting member. The criteria is given that he needs to complete 7 years and also actively participated in the IC's activities and programs. Spouse transfer. In a case of an unfortunate demise of a primary member, the spouse is eligible for that membership to be transferred specifically on the name of the spouse member. But this membership is not transferable to any other relations, including children. Some of the important days and events at the IC. Our founder president, that is C.D. Deshmukh, we hold in his honor a memorial lecture every year on 14th January by an eminent person. This year, which is around the corner, we have invited Dr. Amitabh Ghosh, who will be coming and giving a talk at the IIC on 14 January in the C.D. Deshmukh auditorium. I would request all the members who are interested to please attend this important lecture. We celebrate our Founders' Day, that is January 22, in the honor of the Dr. C.D. Deshmukh's birthday. Event is celebrated by having an interaction tea in the fountain lawn so that the members can interact with each other. Thereafter, a cultural program is hosted in the C.D. Deshmukh auditorium for the members. Annual General Body meeting, it is held usually in the last day of the March, which is attended only by the N category members and the life members. Important decisions which the General Body wish to bring out, this is discussed over there. And as I have mentioned, that we hold elections once in 2 years. The people who are entitled to cast a vote are from the category of M and L category, and similarly for the corporate member, the members who are from the corporate member category, they are eligible to vote over there. Our next election is likely due to be held in the month of March of 2025. We also hold a very important Saturday group discussion, which is held at the IIC in the private dining hall on every Saturday. And it's a very important group discussion of very varied subjects which are discussed over there. The current convener is Lieutenant General Aditya Singh. IIC also has its website, as indicated. It gives you the information about the IIC's history, who's who, members login, program updates and registrations, publications, library activities, facilities available, announcements, updates in the notice section. Whenever we open the membership, the online STEM application form is also available over there, and so is the DigiLib web app to access to the digital resources. Members parking, which is a very critical area, while we are located very centrally, but the biggest problem is that we don't have adequate parking space inside the complex. We have a very limited number of parking in the Kamaladevi block, where we are about 30 in number. And because of the limited parking, we only issue the parking stickers to senior members, especially who are more than 80 years old, single lady member or physically challenged members. Others, because of the limitation of space, we are not able to give the parking stickers to a large number of people who are going to come. We will request them to use the facility which is available at the Joseph Stein Lane. There are facilities we have put our security guards to assist you in parking your vehicle over there and finding you an appropriate space also over there. some of the important contact details of the chief executives as indicated. This information is also available on the ISC website. With this, I have finished, and I would now request the Honorable Trustee Shri Suhas Borkarji to share his remarks with the members. Sumit? Is this okay?
Now I'm going to have to excuse me for the bad throat, so you'll have to do with that. I'm sorry about this. The weather has taken a toll on me. So, I've been a member for 30 years now, and I want to share 3 things with you. First is why we want IIC to become a thought space. The second is the ethos and the culture of the center. The third is about the founder, C.D. Deshmukh. It is going to be away from the book. So, welcome to you all, to the family of IIC. The best and the great minds of the country got together to set up the center in the late 50s and 60s of the last century. As the director mentioned, we are not a club. We are supposed to be an intellectual hub. So IIC was to be a natural thought space at the national level, and we want that part of the legacy now in a big way. That thought space which I am talking of is totally inclusive, it is plural, it is secular, and it is liberal in its outlook. So the discussions, the seminars, the talks, the cultural programs, the publications, and the library are the mainsprings and the mainstay of that thought space. The dining halls and the lounges and the bars are incidental to facilitate that thought process. And they are not an end in themselves. What I'm talking of is the dining hall, the bar, and the lounges. This is very critical to our thinking. We are not a dhaba or a watering hole. From international relations to economics, from science and technology to medical sciences, to anthropology and political science, from Dalit and minority studies to tribal art and culture, everything is on our ambit. There is a story of the 70s which I just want to briefly share with you. When Srimati Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, and she asked her Principal Secretary, P.N. Haksar, Haksar साहब, ये तो सब ठीक है जो आप कह रहे हैं, पर IIC इसके बारे में क्या सोचता है? You know, that was the kind of milieu which IIC was functioning. So, there are 2 things which I just want to mention, how these ideas have developed. The whole idea of overseas Indians and the importance we should give to the diaspora came up here at the IIC. Even the numbering of all of the trees of Delhi came up in a seminar in IIC. And at that time, P.K. Tripathi was at the top job of the Delhi government, and the orders were passed. He was there at the seminar. The orders were passed to number all the trees. So whatever you do, whatever you think has value here in IIC. The second point which I want to talk about is the ethos and culture. We are all equals here. So get out of that. If you are a bureaucrat, get out of that bureaucratic mold of serving. No sir, we don't use that. And then respect the staff, respect the dignity of the people who serve you. And if you can, remember their names. Sooner you will get used to that. And you are also to respect the rules and the codes. These rules and codes are there to help the process of interaction. And no mobiles is a strict no, which has already been mentioned. Now I come to the last point, and that's our founder, C.D. Deshmukh, Dwarkanath Chintamani Deshmukh. Now Deshmukh goes to Cambridge. He joins Jesus College for his tripos in sciences. While he is a student, he becomes the leader of the Indian Unity League in Cambridge, which demands self-rule in India and has connections with the Labour Party. He sits for the ICS exam, tops the list in 1918. The story goes that the British intelligence opposed his selection because they said that he was doing, anti-British imperial kind of stuff at the Cambridge University. But then the chair of that committee or whatever it was, because there were no vice officers those days, he put it down and said, no, I think Deshmukh is a patriot. So he selected and he topped. Then in 1919, Deshmukh meets Bal Gangadhar Tilak in London. And he seeks his advice. Deshmukh tells Tilak, I have topped the ICS exam, but my duty calls me to join the political struggle for India's freedom. No, Tilak replies, we are going to achieve independence soon. This is 1919. We are going to achieve independence soon, and India will need trained administrators. And we will have, those trained administrators will have to reinforce self-government. And Deshmukh follows Tilak's advice. He joins the ICS. He becomes the first Indian to be the governor of the Reserve Bank of India. Then becomes the finance minister in Nehru's cabinet. But resigns when Nehru wants to keep Bombay out of the new state of Maharashtra. So here, principles are critical to Deshmukh. So with that, I come to the end of my brief remarks. So welcome to you all, and hopefully you shall make a meaningful contribution to the thought space of the center. Thank you.
May I request P.K. Tripathi, you can speak from the request.
Dear KM, Director of the Center, our trustee Suhas Borkarji, our secretary Mr. Kaurwaliji, all three of them have in great detail explained the history, the founding of the center, the background, and the various facilities available to the members. Therefore, I would only like to just stress on one point. And I being the last speaker, I don't want to tax you too much. So, see, when I was a child, I read that India is a unity amongst diversity. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru statement. And it has stuck in my mind since then. Then I read a book by Ramchandra Guha, where he has argued that it is a miracle. It is a miracle that India has survived as a country. Because there are 6 basic fault lines which could have disrupted the country and brought it asunder. And these fault lines are basically not only religious, ethnic, gender, economic, and even political and geographical also. The country is so diverse. So what stands out as a beauty, while we have a beauty in diversity, this diversity also has a tendency of, separating us. And therefore, the miracle which Mr. Guha says is a miracle that we have survived as a country, I think is on two grounds. One is the Constitution. The Constitution holds us together as a country. And second is the argumentative Indian. Because we want to discuss, we want to debate, we want to have that thought space which Suhasji has pointed out. And without that discussion and debate, we cannot survive. And IIC is a center for discussion and debate. See, the various plural aspects of the country, the diversity of the country, if you see the program, the presentations which have been made by Mr. Wali, clearly show that we are catering to everything, which requires a thought space, which requires discussion. You have a beautiful film club which caters to films not only in the country, but the best films anywhere in the world are screened here. You have a wonderful library which covers all aspects of life. The cultural programs here are not North Indian or South Indian or East Indian or West Indian. They cover the whole gamut of cultural space. So, and even in the special groups, sector-wise groups which have been constituted, they also covered, and even now in the selection process, transparency and fairness has been brought out. Earlier there was a chance, there was maybe in certain years, bureaucrats may have come in large number. In another year, lawyers may have come in large number. So now we have even fixed ratios so that whosoever may be the president, secretary, treasurer, trustee member, the ratios have been fixed that all walks of people from all walks of life will be represented in the IIC. So my request to you is that you have entered or you have enrolled yourself because of your interest. And when we were having interviews, I found that many of the people who already were using the facilities, they were familiar with the center. It's not that even though they are not members, they have been, their parents have been members, their relatives have been members, or even their friends would have called them to be here. So what we want is an active membership. See, it is very painful to see that an excellent program, cultural program, which should have been ticketed for a very large amount, there are hardly any people. Now the artist comes and there is nobody to hear or listen to the artist. It is very disheartening, not only to the artist, but to everybody. So what we need from you most is active participation. Please take interest in whichever field you are interested in. But don't think of the center only that membership ho gayi, kabhi kabhi chale jayenge. Try to come as much as possible. Thank you and welcome.
Just one second, I'll allow that also. I'll also request our Honorable Executive Committee member, Mr. Sanjeev Chopra, he is online from Dehradun. May I request Sanjeev Chopra ji to also share his remarks with the people. Can you please connect Mr. Sanjeev Chopra? He's not here. Okay. Before I take on the questions, two things which I just missed out is one is what Director had mentioned. We have taken several green initiatives at the IIC and we take a lot of pride in that. I would like to briefly mention them about that. IIC is nearing a place where we will be zero discharge unit, and probably the first in the NCR. We have solar power energy panels which are over the building providing us the solar power. We have the entire bio waste which comes out from the kitchens goes into a biogas plant which generates the gas which is used in our kitchen. We have an organic waste composter. The entire green waste which comes out from our gardens and etc. is going into the organic waste composter which converts it into the compost which is used in the IIC gardens. And lastly, we have a sewage treatment plant which treats the entire water which comes out from here. So nearly all the waste which is generated in the center is consumed within the center only over there. So this was the first step which I had missed out. I would like to bring it out. Second thing is IIC also takes its pride in its gardens and in its trees which we have. We have recently categorized each tree, and if you visit the IIC, you will find a small metallic plate which is put on all the trees. It's got a small QR code. If you scan it with your mobile, it gives the entire history of the tree, when it was planted, when does it flower, and what are the specialties about that tree over there. So with these, I would just end for today's talk. And we are now open to any questions which are there from the members or even to the members who are joining us online. I may now request the member to please raise his hand, his name and membership number, and we will be there to answer your query. Thank you.
Yes, Meenakshi.
I'd like to know, do we have good medical facility within the premises?
We have a doctor present evenly in the afternoon for about 2 hours at annex as well as in the main center. We have also got the first aid medicines and equipments available. 2 defibrillators have also been installed. Staff are trained in operating them in case any person develops any heart condition. We have a tie-up with Multan Hospital. So if any person needs hospitalization or some intensive medical care, he or she can be taken to the hospital. But we do not have round-the-clock doctor available at the center. Yes, madam. Yeah,
Into the mic.
Okay.
you can be seated, no problem.
Okay. My name is Rama Goyal, and you asked my membership number, so that's 802431. I've memorized it by now. Okay. Just a couple of questions. So you mentioned about the Saturday discussion group. So you didn't say at what time, and so do they just decide on the topics there and then, or is it circulated beforehand? That's number one question. And the other question is that in case we have any suggestions for any programs or any discussions or something, so how do we then get it across to you? Do we write to the director or to the secretary, or who do we contact?
Very simple. So far the Saturday group is concerned, this is a group of individual members. Basically, this was started by Mr. I.K. Gujral and earlier to that Mr. Thapar. Mr. Thapar. I mean, they started here. The group decides to invite a speaker who speaks on some important subject topic, and first they have lunch, and after that the speaker will make his presentation, and then group discussion will take place. Now this membership is not straightaway available. Only thing is that after you have become member over here and you have established your position and you become known, then only they can think of taking over there. So those discussions are not available to all the members of the center. The second point is about the programs. Now the programs, suggestions about the program. No, certainly you can see, you can send it by email. We are all available. You can also meet us individually and give us suggestions during the course of discussion. And we take into consideration those things. And programs are decided by program committee finally. And all those programs are placed before the committee, which meets once in a week, sometimes twice a week, and then recommends, which are approved by the president, and then the programs are cleared. Yes, please.
My name is Enad Mohanty. I just want to ask Mr. Tripathi, in fact, to emphasize that we need to make active contribution to the IIC, which was also passingly mentioned by Mr. Botal and Mr. Srivastav. And I would like to know how we, the temporary associate members, how we can actively contribute. Except sitting in the library or maybe attending some seminars which are happening. Beyond that, can we actively participate, contribute in any way to the IIC?
So before Mr. Tripathi answers your question, let me clarify that you are not temporary member. Yes. You are actually a permanent member, only this 3 plus 2 years some sort of probationary period. We're just seeing how you are, associating yourself. So if everything is fine with you, then you're going to get confirmed. So don't be under the impression that temporary membership has been given to you. Yes.
This is a very valid point that every member is equal, as Mr. Suhas Borkar also said. So this is only a nomenclature that is temporary, it is a process. And the reason why this was introduced that sometimes even with the best of intentions, you select good members, but then they don't come. You can't refuse a person of stature when he applies to be a member, but then you find that he is not present ever. He has taken membership, he pays his membership fees also, but he is like a ghost, so absent. So therefore, the contribution is twofold. One is by attending, of course, the seminars and actively attending. And one is that you just attend and hear 10 minutes and go away. I've also seen that people here, they come for a cultural program, 15 minutes they want, then they go away. Then they go somewhere else. It's not like marking attendance. That is not the purpose. See, one should participate and be part of the process. And if you have any suggestions, a very good question is earlier also, that how you can contribute, please tell us. We will ensure that whether the program office or by any of the means, we will ensure that, your ideas are certified.
Right. No, I think that's a very valid point. But you can yourself initiate a program. You don't have to wait for anything. You initiate a program, contact the chief of the program division, and then it will be taken by the program committee immediately in that week itself. And then that's how it's done. So you must initiate, You can't wait for somebody to come and tell you. Yeah. You're most welcome.
If there's any member online who wishes to have any query, he can raise his hand and we can, connect with him. There is no one? With the permission of the chair, then I would request, we conclude today's proceedings and request everyone to please join us for a cup of tea, which is outside. And thank you very much, and once again, welcome you all to the IIC fraternity. Thank you.